Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. We're here for top 10 wide receivers. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe, interact. Let's blow this channel up. Let's get it. I'm here with Moody and Isaiah. What's going on today, fellas?
Here today to discuss what might be the deepest position in the league by far. Like I'm gonna coin. There's 20 top 10 receivers in the NFL. They're just everywhere. A lot of talented guys. Interested to see how we rank them because I think a lot of them are close too. That's the crazy thing.
The market blew up for these guys. You could be mid and make $20 million. That's how big the receiver position has become. Congratulations to these guys for collecting their bag. I'm excited to talk.
Why you gotta take a shot at Kenny Galladay like that?
I was really going at Christian Kirk, but hey, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah. At least Kenny Galladay led the league in something once a Pro Bowl. So yeah, you're a Christian. Yeah, ooh, I forget about him. Damn.
All right. Yeah, let's get it started. I'll start this one. My honorable mentions are CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown. Both NFC East opponents. I think he would have made my top 10 if he stayed in Tennessee, but I don't know the chemistry or his production level is going to be with Jalen Hurts. And CeeDee Lamb, I have his question marks on being the top priority for defenses. So I want to see him do it for a year with being the number one priority of a defense, which I think he can do, but I'm going to hold tight on honorable mention for CeeDee Lamb. Number 10, I got Deebo Samuel, the Swiss Army knife. He can do a bevy of things, and in a Kyle Shanahan offense, that is the most perfect thing for it. At number 9, I got Scary Terry. He is at number 9 because Carson Wentz is his quarterback.
The best quarterback he's ever had, by far.
I don't care. It's Carson Wentz. He's probably only going to play 7 games.
He's going to get top 25 at worst quarterback production at worst.
We'll see because that Washington offensive line it's an eyesore. So we're going to see if Carson Wentz can be top 25 with that offensive line.
But anyway, number 8, I got Mike Evans. Tom Brady feeding him the football. He's going to be a lock for a certain amount of production. At number 7, I got Tyreek Hill. That is purely based on Tua. I don't believe in Tua. I'm sorry. He's a great player, but his production, this is my 2022, what I think his production is going to be in 2022.
Yeah, I got you, Eric. I got you.
I saw the facial expressions. Anyway.
You got to defend the pick before we even say anything.
Anyway, number 6, I got DeAndre Hopkins. I only have him this low because he's suspended for 6 games. So at max, he's going to play 11 games.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so that's your first half. Okay. Surprising. We'll save the Tyreek Hill slander rebuttal for the second half because I'm pretty sure he'll be on me and Moody's first half of our list. So
very much so.
We'll get you for that later, boy. I'll go next, I guess. So my honorable mentions is actually a guy that was in my top 10 last year that fell out. It's Terry McLaurin, and it's just because Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, and Jamar Chase decided to show up last year and take spots. So he's gonna hopefully get some decent quarterback play, maybe some good quarterback play, and maybe he'll shine because he still hasn't put up any amazing numbers. But I'm not gonna blame him for that. His system is pretty cruddy. And my other guy falling out of my top 10 is actually Mr. Stephon Diggs. I still think he's a great player. I think he lost a step last year. I did think he lost a step last year. I think he's got great hands, still a great route runner. But I question his explosion, and I'm interested to see how he does, how they continue to progress him in that offense. They paid him, but all these top 10 receivers, like half of them got, like 75% of them got paid on my top 10 list. So we'll see. I just feel like some of the guys ahead of him look better, like a Deebo Samuels, for example. But starting my top 10, I've got I think the guy who's the most underrated receiver in the league. I've got Mr. T.A. Higgins. I think he's going to take over DeAndre Hopkins' spot as the number 1 X receiver in the NFL. All you got to do is watch him in the Super Bowl versus all-pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey. And him and his buddy, who was also going to be on the list, were taking turns on him in the Super Bowl. And just watch some of his highlights against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm pretty sure he caught a jump ball over 3 other defenders on multiple occasions. I think this guy's going to be amazing next year with that offense. They got a good
Joe
offense.
Burrow, top 5 quarterback, though, with those weapons. That's all right. That's all right.
I think he's going to blow up next year with good offensive line play. And number 9, I have a guy I've never been super high on, and I think I'm going to bank on the fact that I think with leaving Aaron Rodgers will show the holes in his game. At number 9, I've got Devontae Adams. That's the guy. You chose to slander Tyreek Hill. I'm going to slander Adams. I chose Adams. You went with Hill. I think Adams is more a product of his quarterback than Tyreek Hill. And when I talk about Tyreek Hill later and bring up my points, I'll bring that there. I'd like that. I like Devontae Adams, but I think he's got good athleticism, not great athleticism. I think he's got good size, not great size. I think he's the top elite runner. I think he's the upgraded version of Keenan Allen. That's why he's in my top 10. But we'll see. He's leaving Aaron Rodgers. Derek Carr is not Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how good you think. Aaron Rodgers was firmly in all of our top 5.
They already got chemistry from Fresno State.
You talking about Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, Isaiah. You heard Adams. He's going from a Hall of Famer to a Hall of Famer. Actually, no, he's not.
So we'll see about that. We'll see if he's still talking about Derek Carr in those glowing terms. But he's got his money, and he's living in Las Vegas. How can you beat that? At number 8, I have the guy who's probably my favorite receiver of this era, and it just hurts me that he got the benefit from Tom Brady. I have Mike Evans. I said Higgins was taking over Hopkins' spot because I think Hopkins has been having it over Evans, and I think after this year, Higgins will be better than Mike Evans. So, I mean, Mike Evans is consistent though. That stat about a consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. I think Mike Evans is the only one that stands pat. Even though I give credit to Brandon Cooks because he showed some more even this year, but he played with Jameis. He played with the quarterback before Jameis. He's played with Ryan Fitzpatrick. And
Mike Evans is the man who made Johnny Manziel.
I was telling people that in high school, but this is what y'all wanted to run around doing.
That's what it was all about. He went to Cleveland. What could he have done?
Mike Evans went to the Succaneers.
They have way more clout. Yeah.
2 titles in our lifetime. So that's all I gotta say about that. At number 7, I have a guy that I thought was hard to rank, Deebo Samuel. I think he gives you top 10 receiver production, top 10 weapon production. I just don't know what he'd look like anywhere else. But he showed me something as a receiver last year. He was leading the league in receiving yards, like right there with Cooper Kupp, through the first 6-7 games before they started moving him around more. Got paid for a reason. At number 6, I have DK Metcalf, who is another guy that's in that race for best X receiver. I think he could do more in the slot and as a Z. I think he's more complete than a Higgins and a Mike Evans, even though some might argue that. I just think the quarterback play is going to be pretty terrible for him this year unless Drew Lock takes massive strides. And hopefully for him, the run game is so good that he'll just catch a lot of play action post routes. That's the best case scenario for him probably. And that's it. That rounds out my top 10.
All right, I got it. 1, how do you have the elite receiver for your number 1 quarterback that low?
Because he pops up his own guys, Eric. That's why. That's because Stephon Diggs, he uses Stephon Diggs to prop up Josh Allen. That's why he did it.
And that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you how I feel about those weapons in Buffalo. I think Stephon Diggs is a good player. I think he's 30 now. I think he's 30 now. I think he's 30 now. I think he might have lost. He looked like he lost a step last year. And I think he's a good receiver, but I don't know. I think his days of being an elite receiver are over. His numbers are going to be astronomical because he's by far the best weapon in his offense, not named Josh Allen. So what else? But we'll see. Brian Daboll is also leaving. I don't know how great that Buffalo offense will be if it's not surrounded about Josh Allen doing everything. But I still think Stephon Diggs is a great player. But I think if you put Terry McLaurin in Buffalo, he'd be better. He'd be just as good or better. Do you guys disagree with that?
I do.
No,
I'm lower on Terry McLaurin than y'all are.
Yeah, and I didn't have DK on my list at all, just straight for quarterback play. He will not get the production that he wants because Drew Lock is quarterback.
Eric,
it's Gino.
They blew up the team and still paid him. That just tells you how good they think he is. They blew up the team and they still paid him. So, I mean, that's a top 10 receiver. I got his buddy next, but you've seen the picture. You've seen the picture.
All right, I guess I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead next. My honorable mentions, DK Metcalf will be on the honorable mentions list. He's just outside the top 10 for me. And a little bit, DJ Moore deserves more respect because he's had the worst quarterback play. The worst quarterback play.
Oh,
and he puts up elite production. DJ Moore deserves more respect. At number 10, I'm going to put Scary Terry McLaurin. We know what the deal is with him. Good player, really good deep threat. He can make lots of plays. He just needs a better quarterback play. And just in his own right, he's probably too small to be too much better production-wise, but I still think overall he'll be a pretty consistent 11, 1,200 yards, 6 or 7 touchdowns pretty much every year, and then he can always jump up if he gets a better quarterback. At number 9, I got DeAndre Hopkins. I'm with Eric. The suspension, he was hurt last year. He's going to have 2 years of up and down production, up and down play. You really got to see him come back and reestablish himself as he was my number 1 last year. So if he can get back and be healthy, I think he'll be able to rise back up on the list. But he's also older. He's been through a ton of wear and tear. We don't know how guaranteed that is. And number 8, I got
those PEDs. There was a reason he was taking PEDs to get healthy.
You gotta last. You gotta last in this league. It's tough. At number 8, I got Deebo Samuel. I definitely think he's ranked this high because of the Shanahan system. That's what makes him at his absolute best. But he's still a dynamic receiver. I think he's a better running back, but no one's ready for that conversation. He got paid like a receiver, so that's all that matters. Congratulations to him. He didn't have to settle for running back money. At number 7, I got Stephon Diggs. I'm going to continue to give Stephon Diggs credit for the turnaround of Josh Allen's career. Josh Allen was a 50% passer before Diggs showed up.
No, he wasn't. That's not true. He was a 65. He had a breakout season when they went to the playoffs, beat the Cowboys on Thanksgiving with Cole Beasley as a number 1. So they only choked in the playoffs when Deshaun Watson made a ridiculously amazing play.
They lost that game 19-16, Isaiah. Just tell the people that. He scored 16 points and he was trying to throw the game away. He did his best.
So him and Deshaun were putting on a YOLO fest. Deshaun just was doing it better that day.
But I've always been a big fan of Stephon Diggs. He's one of my favorite receivers in the league. I think he's got arguably the best hands, awesome route runner. I think he's still in his prime. And at number 6, everyone's boy, but I still think he's benefiting off of lots of garbage time. Justin Jefferson, he deserves to be – he is absolutely incredible, but I think he's been a product of playing in some weak sauce division and some weak sauce games. He's never done anything in a game that matters in his life. Yeah, there you go.
He won a national championship.
So we talk about NFL receivers, Eric.
You said in his life.
Natty.
You said in his life.
In his NFL life.
Okay, so I chose to slander Devontae Adams and Diggs. You guys went with Moody went with Metcalf and Justin Jefferson. Eric went with Tyreek Hill and Metcalf.
I don't see how being the great receiver in the league is disrespect.
Yeah.
I don't see how that's disrespect. And all 5 guys in front of him are better than him. They just are.
Yeah.
We all had DK
would be on my list if Russell Wilson was still his quarterback.
We've seen receivers be good with bad quarterback play. Someone got to catch some passes.
But yeah.
We all had Deebo around 7 or 8. And we're all in agreement that he's just a top 8 player.
He's a Kyle Shanahan product.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is what it is. And both of you left out Mike Evans.
No, I had him at 8.
Mike Evans is on my list. He's on my list.
He was number 8.
On your list? Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's good for Mike Evans. So, I mean, I guess we can move on. Eric, you want to finish up, round out your list?
Yeah. So number 5, I have Stephon Diggs. I think just having a top 2 quarterback and being the number 1 target, you're going to get the numbers that you need to be a top 5 wide receiver. I think this is the last year he's going to be at this tier for me, but I still think he's going to get a chunk of targets, which is what you need to be a top wide receiver. Number 4, I got Jamar.
You're literally saying that he's going to fall off next year, but when I say he's going to fall off this year, I'm crazy.
Yeah, we're talking about this year, not next year. Anyway,
what makes your timetable better than my timetable? And then you said the same.
At least we're not Max Kellerman.
He still won't have amazing numbers though. Nope, he might fall off, but hey, don't worry, he's in a good offense, so he still won't have elite numbers to hide that he might have fallen off. But go ahead. I feel like we described him the same exact way.
Anyway, number 4, I got Jamar Chase. my keeper in our fantasy league, the man.
Can I have him?
No. Anyway, number 3, I have Justin Jefferson. I got the LSU boys back to back. I think he is explosive. Yeah, he may have Kirk Cousins as his quarterback, but Kirk Cousins can put up numbers, and that's what a wide receiver needs.
I think that's why he's never played in a game that's never mattered because he's got Kirk Cousins as his quarterback, and they're playing in garbage time.
The year before they drafted Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins was in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. That's all. He was going into the Wolves and beating Drew Brees.
I mean, Case Keenum won a playoff game with that team.
He won a couple.
No, they would have one seed. They would have one seed. They just won the one. They
won
the one.
They were the one seed.
Anyway, continuing on, number 2, I got Cooper Kupp, obviously Triple Crown winner, electric season. There's not much more you could say about Cooper Kupp. Him and the Breakfast Club of Matthew Stafford, they're going to be elite. And then number 1, I got Davante Adams. I think his talent transitions to anywhere. He obviously won't, I don't think, be as targeted as he was in Green Bay because you also have Darren Waller there as well, taking targets from him as well. And Darren Waller there to take targets away from. I'm just kidding.
Hunter Renfrow disrespect on this podcast.
They paid him for a reason. They paid him for a reason. Hunter Renfrow is the most underrated receiver in the most underrated receiver class of all time. They said all of those guys would be garbage, yet all of them collected here have all hand in money.
Not N'Keal Harry. Not the 2 guys who win the first round. The first round receivers, they were right. Still garbage.
But yeah, that's my list, my dudes.
All right, let me finish that.
The list is still, it's just mind blowing to me. It's just, I can't, it don't sit right.
And number 5, I got DK Metcalf's photo bomb buddy, AJ Brown. It sickens me that he plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he's going to make Jalen Hurts look so serviceable and make so many plays in that offense and open up room for Devontae Smith and that run game. We already know AJ Brown knows how to play in a run-heavy offense. Him on those play-action plays will be nothing new to him. It's sickening that he is no longer in Tennessee, and the effects of that is that he ended up in Philadelphia. I think he's the best receiver of the group from that 2019 class. That's why I have him rated the highest. And number 4, I've got the Super Bowl MVP, Mr. Cooper Kupp. He's not the fastest. He's not the most athletic. He's not the biggest, but he's still big. He's not the best route runner, but he still runs great routes. But all I know is he was wide open all season long. I think his system is very, very beneficial to that. But, I mean, it's Cooper Kupp. He won the Super Bowl MVP. He had the greatest receiving season of all time. Shout out to the first ever 17-game season for doing that. And number 3, I have Tyreek Hill, who was amazing with Alex Smith, who Tua Tagovailoa projects just as on his worst day, on his best day too. This is Tyreek Hill.
On his best day. He's not going to always be at his best.
With that offensive line and Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki and that coaching.
Tua about to show y'all something. Tell him, Isaiah. Tua about to show him something. Let him know. Y'all treat this man like he Nathan Peterman.
He's going to look at worse.
He won a natty, Eric? Where's his clout?
He went to Bama. You better win a natty when you go to Bama.
LSU? LSU got natties too.
But yeah.
Then he is Bama.
At worst, they'll make Tua look like Jimmy Garoppolo, and he'll probably come with the injury concerns could screw the team over. I don't know where they go, even though Teddy Bridgewater is pretty decent. But that system with Tyreek Hill doing some Deebo Samuel work with Jalen Waddle, I expect at least still 7 explosive touchdowns from Tyreek Hill this year. And if he gives you that, that's what you brought Tyreek Hill there for. To say that I think he's more quarterback proof by far than Devontae Adams. And number 2,
you trust Tua more than Derek Carr.
No, I think Devontae Adams will have a great year too. I actually think they were going to spoon feed him. I think Josh McDaniels. I like the way the system looked in the Hall of Fame game. I think they're going to spoon feed him, Waller, and Hunter Renfrow. That'll be what they do. And I think Adams is still going to catch 100 passes this year and be great. But Tyreek Hill's better. Tyreek Hill's going to make his system look better Devontae Adams' system is going to make him look better. That's all I got to say. That's how it's always been, in my opinion. That's all I got to say about that. And my top two, I've got the two LSU boys. I think Justin Jefferson is a better all-around receiver than Ja'Marr Chase. I think he could play X, Z, slot. I think he's a better blocker. I think he's a better high point catcher, and that's saying something.
You're not gonna rank him higher.
Ja'Marr Chase is a better is still maybe a high point catching, but at number one, I'm gonna go with Ja'Marr Chase because
you're not gonna rank him higher.
He's better in every way, but I'm gonna put Ja'Marr Chase ahead of him.
But all I gotta say is Ja'Marr Chase is the most special receiver to hit the NFL since Randy Moss, Odell Beckham Jr., Justin Jefferson. He had to go out there and be better than all of them. Like, go to the Super Bowl. He showed up to his team and they became a Super Bowl team. So that's all I gotta say. Joe Burrow played on the Bengals last year. And they weren't Super Bowl caliber. Ja'Marr Chase showed up and they were.
He also tore his ACL.
I hope
even
Trey
before
Henderson
that
gets the same respect when we do the edge list. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, I was respecting Trey Henderson last year.
The guy who actually carried him to a Super Bowl.
But yeah, if you made me choose a receiver to have right now, I'm taking Ja'Marr Chase. He's not even a good X receiver. He's not. I don't even think you could do much. You want to do much slot work, but apparently they want to do some Deebo Samuel stuff with him too. But yeah, he's the most explosive with the ball in his hands. Just go watch his film versus Marlon Humphreys. Nobody else exposed a cornerback, a top cornerback in the NFL more than Ja'Marr Chase undressed Humphreys in that game. And yeah.
What a massive jump for Chase. All right,
hey, he was on my list last year. He was on my list.
He was. You've always been high on Chase, so I ain't surprised at how high you got him. I'm not. All right, I'll round up my top five. At number 5, I got Mike Evans, Mr. Consistency. He's 1,200 yards, 8 to 10 touchdowns, guaranteed lock, put a stamp on it. Anybody who you can do that with is an automatic top 5 receiver. At number 4, I got Ja'Marr Chase. He's got to do it again, but he'll probably be my number 1 next year if I had to assume he's that nice. I actually disagree with Isaiah. I think he can do whatever he wants on the football field, wherever he wants to do it. He's that kind of explosive talent. He can tackle breaking, give him the ball in the backfield, do whatever you want with him. He can't be stopped. At number 3, I got Tyreek Hill. He's the biggest game-changing receiver in the NFL still. Like, he causes defenses to stress more than any other player in the league at any position. That's what Tyreek Hill does. That's what his speed is capable of. It's indisputable. Like, this is Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Eric, that's it. That's there's nothing in a league with Ja'Marr Chase and Justin Jefferson. This guy's the most dynamic by far.
At number 2, I will continue to give Devontae Adams his respect. He's got more touchdowns than anybody in the league over the last few seasons. I think he's got the best overall release, route running. I think he does the receiver things better than anybody else in the league in terms of like running routes, getting off the line, being where he's supposed to be, making the catches. We'll see. He's not going from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer. Derek Carr ain't Aaron Rodgers, so I don't expect him to be as much of a feared threat as he was in Green Bay. But as far as the overall talent of the position, Devontae, he's second to none. He knows how to get the job done. And at number 1, y'all disrespectful because Isaiah, you said it best. He had the greatest receiving season of all time. Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the NFL. He deserves to be at the top of the list. Nobody has ever done what he's done. He was wide open all season long because he is that dude. His worst game of his season was 6 catches for 70 yards. That was the worst game of the season. That was a bad day. That was a bad day at the office for Mr. Cooper Kupp. And we want to talk about Stafford. He raised up. No, look at his 2018 numbers before he tore his ACL with Jared Goff. They were better than what he was doing this year. That's how good Cooper Kupp is when he's healthy on the field.
It was like 3 games. It was like a month.
It was 8 games. There's nobody better and more productive at the position than Cooper Kupp. He is that dude, number 1.
I'm going to argue his system. He's top 5. The production is unmatched, but the system is the system made Jared Goff look like an MVP one time. System made Todd Gurley, who hasn't worked in the NFL in going on 2 years now, look like an MVP. That's what I got to say about that.
It was called Devontae Freeman over Todd Gurley. Damn. But nah, yeah. Cooper Kupp, there's a reason why we haven't seen a Triple Crown winner in 15 years before Cooper Kupp did it. Like, you got to be like that to pull that off. And he did it, and he blew everybody else away.
I didn't disrespect Cooper Kupp. I had him at 2.
That's 2 is too low when you have the greatest receiving season ever. When Calvin Johnson had the greatest receiving season ever, was somebody putting him at 2? Hell no. He was 1 because that's Calvin Johnson.
Who was his quarterback for that season?
Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford know how to feed one man. I'll give him credit for that. He does that better than anybody in NFL history. If you need your numbers padded up, Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford, that's who you call.
Well, I mean, I guess
breakouts, best rookies, wherever y'all want to go.
I'm stealing 2 breakouts because I think that easy. I'm being greedy, but it's CeeDee Lamb and DJ Moore. I think that they just got. I think DJ Moore we'll see because his numbers aren't great, but his scary Terry McLaurin.
You don't think he's already broken out?
Who?
DJ.
I don't think DJ Moore's a household name. A lot of people, when I saw him get his contract, were saying he's a good player. Is he worth it? The hardcore fans know who DJ Moore is. The regular casual doesn't know who DJ Moore is. Just like if you ask somebody who was Deebo Samuel last year, the hardcore fan would tell you he was the receiver from San Francisco. But this year, people can tell you who Deebo Samuel is. So that's what I mean by breakout. And everybody knows who CeeDee Lamb is, but he has a drop problem that no one ever saw coming, and he has to do it as a number 1 now. So that's all that's left. But if he does it, and I'm sure he's looked great in camp. He's got a good quarterback. He's got a good offense. So I'm sure he'll be okay, barring more receiver injuries that make the coverage heavily tilted towards him.
And rookie?
Oh, rookie? My number 1 receiver from the draft, Drake London. He's playing with Kyle Pitts, and they'll be in garbage time all year long.
Okay. Well, I am doubling down on my breakout from last year. Brandon Ayuk, don't get in the doghouse this year and let Trey Lance throw you the damn football. Let's go. Just do what Kyle Shanahan says. That's all I'm asking. Oh, that's it. And then my rookie, I have Jahan Dotson. He was my wide receiver 1 for the draft. I think he'll be a great number 2 to go with Scary Terry. I just think he was my favorite receiver coming up.
Curtis Samuel's there.
Apparently, Samuel's in the doghouse. Apparently, I don't think the same thing's gonna work out. It doesn't look like it's gonna work.
The coach, his former coach brought him there, hanging up in the doghouse with his coach that brought him there.
Apparently, some guy named Dax Millen is getting reps, and apparently guys are getting reps, and Samuel might just be a gadget guy. That might just be it. He might just be a gadget guy.
Kick returner. I mean, Dwayne Harris. Everybody has a role.
All right. For me, I'm sick. Isaiah went first. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb is going to be the breakout receiver of the year. It's his time to step into the role. I'm expecting 100+ catches, 1,500+ yards, 10+ touchdowns. He's going to get the ball all day long if Dak Prescott's willing to feed him the way he deserves to be fed. For best rookie, I went with Treylon Burks in Tennessee. I think he's the most on target to have the most targets with the most competent quarterback. I think I would assume because Drake London's going to have Marcus Mariota throwing him the football. It's going to be hard to sell him there. We'll see about Jameis Winston for Chris Olave. We'll see about Garrett Wilson with Zach Wilson. The guy who has the rookie with the best quarterback and the most opportunity is Treylon Burks. He also plays a style that translates very well. He just got to go out there, catch the pass across from us that A.J. Brown caught, break a tackle, take it to the house. That's all he had to go do. I think he's in the best position to do that. I'll take Treylon Burks.
Very nice. Very nice.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Comment, share, interact, and we'll be back.
Yes, sir.